Good evening, everybody. I'm moving around my kitchen, my living space, because we've got another couch over there now. So that corner that I had is lost. So I feel sad about losing that corner, but I'm happy because it means I'm not going to hit my head on the light, which is really good news. So bear with me as I kind of try and adjust to this space. If there's any difficulties with image quality or sound, or you feel like you can't see me doing the poses properly, then please just let me know, and I will do the best that I can to get it sorted. I'm still using the laptop to do the live streaming. I'm not up to actually having a camera on a tripod or getting someone else to film that for me yet. It's not enough of you love my sessions to make it worthwhile, so you just have to make do. Anyway, we are going to kind of do a bit of a freestyling today. So I'm mixing up all the yoga elements. So I've got my room really warm, and I'm just in kind of warmer clothes. So I'm introducing like a Bikram element of yoga, which is basically just hot yoga. You have the room at a certain temperature, just to help to create heat in your practice. And I'm just going to kind of go through it and just go with the flow, and see what happens, see how I feel my practice needs to move along. So I've been, I'm coming off my steroids, or I'm reducing the amount of steroids that I'm taking. So I'm really achy. So I'm just going to kind of go with whatever feels really good and just work through it with that in my mind. So what I thought the first thing we would do is we're going to start in a seated position. So come to a seated position, and again you might need a block underneath those hips just to lift you up a little bit. We're just going to find space in the shoulders here. Now you can either close your eyes completely or soften the gaze so that you're just looking down towards the floor. Whatever works for you. But we're going to be tall through the back. The neck is extended. The crown is nice and tall. Whether you're gazing down or with your eyes closed. Just take some breaths in here. I want you to feel those breaths really working their way through your body, bringing a kind of calming energy into your body and allowing the day to just drift away. Whatever might have happened today, it's done, it's finished. We don't need that anymore. So we're just going to let it go. Of course, thoughts always do pop into our heads. As we're practicing, as we're in our asanas, as we're doing shavasana, that's fine. Just acknowledge that they're there and just allow them to move on. Don't pay them any attention. You can see them, but just allow them to go. Okay, so you can either slowly open up your eyes or lift your gaze up, whichever way you had them. I'm just going to bring the knees up. We're just going to give our knees a bit of a hug. But we're really, really going to work it in. So we're stretching our arms all the way along and we're really hugging those knees. If you hold on tight to your elbows, so each hand is holding the opposite elbow, and then dip your head down into this gap that we've created and arch the back. So you'll feel a stretch across the shoulders and in the middle back. So if you just kind of arch. On the inhale, and come back up. So straighten that back again. We're just going to swap the arms around. So whichever arm was holding on top, we're just going to swap them around. And then we're going to push back again. And you'll feel the stretches in a slightly different place. So you're kind of working one side to the other. And then just drop that head again into that gap and arch that back. So we're really kind of pushing backwards here. On the inhale, come back up. Okay. Grab hold underneath the feet. And just drop your back again. So we're kind of arching a little bit again. Just stretching out those shoulders. And this time, drop the shoulders, arch back, but keep that neck nice and tall. And you should get a stretch along here, along the shoulders, up into the neck muscles. Still pushing back a little bit, but not too much. We don't want to cause any tension in the neck. Okay. Now relax the legs down. Now, if you've got a strap, all my stuff's over here, sorry. If you've got a strap, grab hold of your strap. If you don't have a strap, but you've got a towel or a blanket, anything like that that you can use, that's absolutely fine. Or you can just use yourself. It's not a problem. What we're going to do, undo my strap. Pop your strap around your toes. And we're going to lean back, but we're going to keep our legs down. And again, drop those shoulders and arch that back. We're stretching through those shoulders and using our feet to anchor. Now, it's not a massive stretch. It shouldn't be that painful. But depending on how much give you've got, you might only be here before it's too painful. You might kind of be more here and thinking, oh, okay, yeah, that's about as much as I've got. It's fine, wherever you are, just enjoy that stretch. Obviously, the longer you have the strap, you can have more of a curve in the back. And that in itself can cause some discomfort. So if that is the case, just come up a little bit more and just just drop those shoulders down and stay tall. But if you're okay with that bend, you're still here. On the inhale, we're going to come back up so that we're seated tall, but our legs are still straight. And then we're just going to bend over. You can either grab your toes if you can, or continue to use the strap. Just feel that stretch down the back of your leg. Now that may be too much, so just bend the knees if you need to. That's not a problem. Just give them a little lift. You could also, if you need to, have something, if I just turn this one up a bit better. You could have something tucked underneath here, like a cushion or a rolled up blanket, if you need to have something underneath your knees. But if you're okay with your legs down, that's fine. We are still tall through the back though. We're bending with the hips. Just going to do a couple more breaths here. Okay, keep hold of the strap or keep it near you. We're just going to go onto our knees. So when you're on your knees, a lot of people can struggle. One of the things you can do is you can either fold your mat underneath, so you've got more cushion underneath the knees, and also you could do that underneath your feet so that you've got more, too much now, so you've got more cushion underneath the feet as well. But wherever you are, I'm going to take hold of our mat, kind of going to engage the arms again. So we're going to lift them up and then drop them behind us. So if this is where your arms are, and that feels like a really big stretch for you, just stay here. But if you feel like you can do a little bit more, we're just going to lean forward, bring our head towards the floor, and then wrap our hands around so that they're closer. Okay, come up, arms out. We're going to lift them up and over the head again. Just going to drop them in front of us. And we're going to lift again. Now, we're not going to actually drop the arms behind us, but if you open them out wide with the strap, don't bring them all the way down here. Have them up here. We're just going to twist one way. And the other way. Now drop them behind. And just lean back. Again, if you can't and you're still here, and this is feeling enough for you, just stay here. That's fine. You can wrap those arms in again. One more time, that's fine. If you think you can do it twice, so now your hands are practically touching, that's fine. So my hands are almost together, and I'm touching my feet. And again, I'm just going to lean forward. And we're going to lift those arms again. Now remember, if you're still up here, that's fine. Just stay there. Your stretch is really big. It's really good. Just keep breathing. Bear with us. We're just going to try this. For those who feel they can get further, we're just going to try this stretch. And then we'll be coming out of this pose. So leaning forward. Again, the arms are just coming up. Come up on the inhale. Slowly release those hands. Oh, just give yourself a hug. I'm going to counteract that pose. We're going to give ourselves a hug here. We're going to bring in a bit of an eagle here, just to counteract what we've just done. So arms across. Just twist those arms up. Now, again, you might only be here, and that might be all that you can manage. That's fine. If you are here and you feel like that's as far as you can twist, just lift your elbow slightly and you'll still feel that you'll get a stretch. If you can get further, that's fine. Still lift those elbows and then drop the head into the gap that we create. head up on the inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to release the arms. Again, give yourselves a hug. This time, taking the other arm over the top. And do the same thing again. So remember your arm position. It doesn't have to be double twisted. If you can't twist this much, that's not an issue. Just twist to where you are comfortable. Lift those elbows if you can, and then drop your head into that gap. If you can drop the hands as well, that's fine. If you can't, just hold it wherever you're comfortable. Up on the inhale. On the exhale, release the hands. Oh, feels good. Just come over, lean on your arms just to rest those shoulders just for a moment. Swap over arms. Floors. Now we're going to go into a downward dog. So I've uncurled half of my mat. It doesn't really matter about the bit behind me, that's not a problem. It's up to you. You can uncurl it, leave it as it is. But from here, we're just going to come up onto our hands and knees. And then our toes under. I'm going to straighten out my mat so you guys hopefully can see. So we're up on our hands and knees. We haven't really moved out of our position. We're tapping our toes under. And then on the inhale, we're just going to lift up through the hips. Through that thigh, we're just going to literally lift our tailbone off the floor. Now you are going to have to walk your legs back, and that's fine. I mean, actually, you might not have to. But it all depends on where your legs end up. But we're going to get ourselves into a good downward dog. We're going to have good 10 breaths in the downward dog, but we're going to get in position first. So if you go up through your heels, walk your legs back so you get a good position. You might need to just stretch those feet out a little bit. I'm going to take the hands a bit wider and point your little fingers to the outside edge of the mat. Thumbs are facing up to the top. And then we're going to drop down through the shoulders. So we get in a good position in the downward dog. Now it doesn't matter if your heels touch the floor or not. Mine don't. They're getting closer, but they don't at this moment touch the floor, and it doesn't matter. You're lifting that tailbone right up into the air. Lean forward to your hands. Drop the knees, uncurl the toes. Walk backwards. Walk your hands a bit backwards. We are in an upward dog. I'm just going to take some breaths here. Now, sometimes this can be really painful on your actual wrists being in these positions. So just, you can loosen them. You can come up onto the fingertips. And that kind of puts pressure more through the fingers than it does through the wrists. Some people do it on actual fists instead. And other people find it easier to not have either their fingers spread or their fingers out wide, or your hands rotated to the side so they keep them forward like this. But if whatever is comfortable, just stick with it. What you might find is that as you go through your practice, you can eventually start to work your hands out. And then you should be able to end up in all sorts of weird and wonderful positions if you can get enough flexibility. But remember what we've said loads of times before, not everybody is able to do every movement, and that is absolutely fine. Your body is unique. It's wonderful, it's you. And, you know, I might be able to do this for my hands, but not everybody might be able to. Some people can get down and literally bend themselves in half, touching their toes, touching the back of their knees with their head or their forehead to their knees, and I can't do that still. So, you know, we're all our own little creatures, and we've all got our bits that we can and can't do. Okay, so from wherever we are, we're just going to bend backwards and drop our buttocks down. Try and keep your hands out as much as you can. Bring your big toes together. Just widen out those knees. And then just drop down and drop your forehead to the floor. Now remember, if you're struggling to get into those positions, just put a block there. And that will help. You could even have it like this. For some people, if you're really struggling to get down, it may even be that the block is like this. Now, if you are up high, try and go onto your fingers and be high, as opposed to being so flat, because you're going to put some tension on your neck. So if you are up high, be on the fingertips. But if you're any lower, or your forehead is actually on the mat, then straighten out those fingers and really spread them. We're really engaging them here. Now we're going to take this to the side. So we're going to move to the right side. So walk your hands around. Remember, if you're using the block, just bring the block with you and use the block and be wherever you need to be. That's fine. And walk back to the center. One breath here. And we're going to walk to the left. You get a nice stretch along the sides, all along your obliques. And walk back to the center. And one breath here. Okay. Lift up, so we're on all fours. Bring those knees closer in and straighten out those legs. So when we're in these positions, we're looking for what we call stacking. So we want the hips to be above the knees. We're just going to drop our arms down and lift the tailbone up so we're here. Now again, you might need to have your blocks. That's fine if you are up high, or if you feel like you can't get down but you don't want to block. Again, just be on the fingertips and try and keep loose shoulders and just drop your head in between. You're here. Walk your hands back. Drop your arms behind. Just extend over. And lift up. Kind of like a reversed bridge. Now in these positions, again, you could use your block. You might need your block. Give you some height, or even if it's just a little bit lower, might be all that you need to help you get into that position if you can't quite reach the floor. If you can get onto the floor, just here for another couple of breaths. Okay. Contour forwards. You're going to extend the left leg back. And extend it back. Lift it as high as we can. And swing it as far forward as we can. Now you might need to use your hands to walk it forward. That's fine. We're going to try and get it so that our foot is underneath the groin. We're not going to bend over it this time. We're just going to stay here. The stretch is on the leg. But what we don't want is we don't want to be coming over like this. We don't want to be all the way over there like that. So if you do feel like you're moving over, you get your blocks or cushions and pop them underneath here. And that should keep you in position. Now if you feel like, okay, well I'm in this stretch and actually it doesn't feel that bad, I don't feel like I'm really doing much, you can always take your foot and walk your foot forward. Then stay there and you'll get a much deeper stretch all the way across the outside of the thighs. But again, even if you get into this stretch and you feel like, oh, actually I'm drooping, just put some blocks there. Now you might be able to get even your foot higher than I can. Some people can get it kind of parallel, but I'm not quite there yet. And that's okay, I'm fine with that. Okay, we're going to lift our leg. Bring it out to the side. Palms on the inside. And just push up with our toes. Remember to keep those shoulders loose. Now if you drop that knee, you will get a much bigger stretch. Your pelvis will drop. But that might be just too much. So if it is, just keep that knee up. If you can get into that stretch and it feels good and it feels nice, just go there. Just going to be here for a few more minutes. We're really kind of engaging that back foot, really pushing through those back toes and balancing with the front. Okay, now swing it back, stretch out, drop it down, back onto the knees. Reposition. Okay. I'm going to go with the other side. So So right leg extends back, up, swing it forward, be in this position. And again, you can be here, or if it feels like it's, not actually much of a stretch for you, being in this position, walk your foot forward. Just be here. And, as with everything, stick those blocks down the side if you feel that you're leaning over. We want to be in line, really. We want everything to be nicely in line. The hips are still facing towards the mat. They're not off to one side, still facing down. Again, if you can get your foot further, go for it. We're not going to lay down on this one. Not going to take it that far. Okay. Oh, that's a nice deep stretch. I'm really liking that. Not quite sure if you guys are as well. Hopefully you are. Okay, we're going to bring that leg out to the side. Up to the side. Hands on the inside. Remember, try and keep everything stacked, so knee above ankle. And again, you can always be on your fingertips. If it takes the pressure off of your wrists, which actually, it really does. So give it a go. But you've got to, have that power to keep them there. And then just drop that knee if you can. The toes, and we're going to push through that leg. Try and keep those shoulders relaxed. And really pushing through that back leg. I really like this one. I think if I would have to go and look the name up again. Okay, swing that leg back, up in the air. Do a three-legged downward dog, and bring it back onto our hands and knees. We're just going to drop down here, just pop our arms down the side, just have a rest here. Okay, we're going to work our way back into downward dog. So bring your hands forward, come back onto your hands and knees. We're going to again lift up through the buttocks. Go up into a downward dog. And then we're going to walk the feet forward, keeping the hands on the mat. Bend those knees. Remember what we were saying about stacking. So try not to be leaning back too much. You want to have your hips over your ankles, so everything is nicely in line. Now, some people I know can do this and have their hands flat on the floor. I just can't. So I'm here. Nice stretch all the way down the back of my leg. I'm going to slowly walk the hands up the body. I'm going to come into standing. I'm just going to step back a bit so you can still see me. Okay, so from standing, I want you to just plant your feet. We're going to take tree pose. We're going to get a balance. So find your feet on the mat and find your point that you're going to be looking at. You've got your point, your arms, shoulders are loose, they drop down, away from the ears. You're going to bring the left leg up. Now again, remember you might be here, and that's okay. You might be here, and again, that's okay. You might be a little bit higher. And if that's where you're comfortable and that's what you can do, that's fine. Now you can either keep your arms down, you can hold on if you need to. Bring your arms into prayer. You can lift them up. Not sure if you can see my arms. Hopefully we've all got some good balance going on here. Wherever your arms are, drop them back down by your side. I'm going to drop this leg down. Reposition. Move further back. You might be able to see my arms now. Then on the other side. So you're either here or here. I've got no balance. Or you're further up. And your arms are either here, loose if you need them loose, or up high. But we're keeping the front facing forward. We're trying to open up the groin by twisting the knee. It's hard to focus and do all this. Twisting the knee back. The balance on my left is obviously not as good as on my right. Relax your arms down. We're going to release the leg. Okay. Left leg over the right knee. And just bend. A couple more poses and then we're going to go into Shavasana. Straighten up through the back, hands together. Now again, you might want to hold onto a chair, a wall, a side, whatever's going to give you some support. We're pushing down with this knee. Back to standing. Go the other side. Right over left. Bend down. Nice and tall through the back. Crown is up. Arms in. Standing. Okay. Bring the left foot up behind you. Hold on just hold on just around the toes. Try and keep your knees together. Bring the right arm forward, palm facing up. Lean forward. Moving our hands around to our toes. We're going to extend that leg backwards. Nearly. Now that I've lost my centre of gravity, I'm gone. Okay. And relax down. Still a work in progress, this dance, I suppose. Okay. I'm going to go on the other side. So, leg up. Try and keep those knees together if you can. Left arm up. Move your hands around so you hold on to your big toes. I've got no balance here. I'm going to lean forward. Extending that leg back. Trying to keep your balance. It must be hilarious for you guys watching me fall all over the place. Hold that pose. Relax down. And we're going to just take a ragdoll. So just bend those knees. Lean over. And just sway. Ragdoll in the wind. I'm going to go into Shavasana. So, on the way down, just grab your blankets and your cushions, whatever it is you need. My pillows if you've got them. If you feel like you need a bit of extra support, under your legs, under your back, under the hips, whatever you need. So get yourself nice and comfortable. Okay, let's start by taking some deep breaths. We're going to breathe in for 4 and really fill up our belly. Then we're going to release for 3. And again, breathe in for 4. Release for 3. Now we're going to do it the other way around. We're going to breathe in for 3 and then release for 4. So breathe in deeply, big abdomen. And then release for 4. And again, in for 3. Release for 4. Just allow your breath to return to normal. This time, we're going to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. But we're going to equal our breaths. So it'll be 4 in and 4 out. So you're breathing in for 4, and out for 4. And as you're breathing out, really sigh those breaths out. So you're breathing in through the nose for 4. sighing it out the mouth before. Keep going. Allow the breath to return to normal. Now we're going to take a deep breath in for however long you need, and then we're going to hold it for about 3 seconds, and then we're going to release it until we feel like there is literally no breath left in us, as if our navel is trying to touch the floor. We're going to breathe in, hold it there, and then breathe it all the way out. And relax. Allow your breath to return to normal. I want you to pay attention to your heartbeat. Really feel the heartbeat. And as it pumps, imagine the energy rushing through your body, filling every cell, all the vital nutrients, oxygen that they need to survive. Imagine the restorative power of the blood as it flows through your veins. Any thoughts come into your brain, that's okay. Just literally thank them. Thank you for coming here today. And then allow them to float away. Do not think of them again. Do not worry about them. Simply were, and now they are not. Slowly become aware of your body. Slowly become aware of my voice. Give your toes a wiggle and your fingers a wiggle. Do some gentle rotations of the ankles and the wrists. Bend those knees, bring them up to the chest. Give yourself a hug. And keep all that energy in that we've created. Okay. Slowly turn over onto your side. Place your hands under your cheek. Take a few breaths here. And slowly, when you're ready, come up into a seated position. Nice and tall through the back, crown. Arms together, thumb to your heart center. Pop a smile on your face. Slowly blink those eyes open. From my heart to yours, namaste. Now hopefully you all enjoyed the practice and you got as much out of it as I did. It was very cathartic for me. It actually felt really good. So hopefully you enjoyed it just as much. Now on Saturday, we're going to be doing kind of a mixture of dynamic poses, so dynamic yoga, where you've got a bit more movement in there, and the some yin or restorative poses. So there'll be a bit of a mixture, and we'll do a bit of a meditation at the end. I'm going to work on that meditation this week and see what pops up and see what I want to write down for you guys to imagine. It'll all be nice, I promise. It'll all be lovely. Anyway, enjoy the rest of your evening, enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope to see you all on Saturday morning. Mwah. Love you lots. Enjoy.